Hey moms, welcome to Busy Moms Yoga. I'm Megan. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself today, for me today, joining me on your mat. I've got a great flow for us today, really working into our hips, into the back, and just should feel really, really good. So when you're ready, join me on your mat. I'm going to suggest some blocks today. We're going to get into a little bit of a half moon balance if that's in your practice. I use blocks for that. I encourage you to use blocks for that. And if you don't have anything handy, just a book or a soup can, anything that can just help bring the ground a little bit closer to you. When you're ready, join me in a nice easy seat. We'll take a few moments just to settle in, loosen up the body, find that comfortable Sukhasana, and just let your hands rest on your knees, palms down or palms open. Find length in your spine. Drop the shoulders away from the ears and breathe. Maybe find something to bring your attention to, soft gaze with your eyes or close your eyes. And let's take a couple collective breaths together, starting with a nice big inhale through the nose. And exhale, let it go. One more time, just like that. Big inhale. And exhale, let it go. On your next inhale, bring the hands up to the sky. Lift your gaze. Exhale, drop the right hand down to your mat. Left arm reaches over the head for a nice side body stretch. Stay here for a few breaths. And feel that space in between the ribs. Maybe lift your gaze a little bit. Send the heart forward and feel the twist in your side body. One more big inhale here. And exhale it out. On the inhale, we rise up. Exhale, switch sides. We're reaching overhead, lifting the gaze just a bit. Try to keep both sit bones on your mat, feeling that whole stretch in the side body. And on your next inhale, coming back up through center. This time we twist. So on your exhale, twist towards the right, bringing your left hand to the right knee. Right arm sets up behind you to support the spine, sitting up nice and tall. Lift up on the inhale and twist a little deeper on the exhale. Maybe glancing over your right shoulder if that feels okay on your neck. Still warming up here, so nothing too stressful. And on your next inhale, coming back up to center again. Exhale, twisting to the left side this time. Same setup. Right hand to the left knee. Left arm supporting the spine from behind. And again, sitting up nice and tall on the inhales and twisting a little deeper on the exhales. And sometimes that spine can feel real sticky in the morning. And just bringing our attention to the back, breathing into the spine, and feeling that good twist. One more big inhale, lifting the arms up, lift your gaze, and exhale through heart center. Nice. Both those hands just rest in your lap. Let's take some gentle neck rolls. Very slow here to start. In one direction, bringing the chin down to your neck, ear to shoulder, lifting your gaze, and then other ear to shoulder. And let it feel good, especially when you get to the sides. Feel that stretch in the sides of your neck. Reverse it, opposite direction. All about balance here when we practice our yoga. And then finally find stillness in your head. Start to roll out those shoulders a bit. I always start going backwards for some reason. I don't know. I think maybe it just feels a little more natural to me. But bringing our attention to the top of the back and the shoulders here, really squeezing the shoulder blades together as if there's a little pencil that you're trying to hold in between them. And then reverse it, coming forward. And then finally, we'll take it down a little bit lower. Let's get some body rolls going here. Really opening up the side body, starting to open up the hips, leaning all the way forward, and then rounding the spine as you roll backwards. Maybe work your breath into it. Start to inhale as you come forward, sending the heart forward, and exhale as you round the spine back. Reverse it. I'm starting to bring some heat to the body and really loosen up. All right, feeling some cracks in the back. Feels good. All right, let's send the legs out long. I'm just going to turn to the side here so you can see me a little better in a seated staff pose. Nice and tall in the spine, shoulders away from the ears, legs out in front of you. Gentle bend in the knees is totally okay if that feels a little bit more comfortable. Start here, dropping those shoulders. Inhale, the arms up overhead, reach up nice and tall, hinging from the hips. Start to reach forward. And when you hit your max, maybe just let your hands come down. Bring your gaze down. Could be to your shins, your ankles, to your toes. And again, we're still warming up here, so bend in that knees if that makes grabbing your toes a little bit more accessible. And just really opening up the back here, backs of the hamstrings, feeling that good full body stretch. And don't forget to breathe. And slowly rise up. Going to transition to a tabletop here for some cat-cow. Take your time getting there. Double check on your alignment. Spread those fingers nice and wide on your mat. Putting the pressure really into your pointer finger and your thumb. And just check that you have your shoulders stacked over your and your hips stacked over your knees. When you're ready, we'll take a few rounds of cat-cow here. So on your inhale, lift your gaze, drop the belly. And on the exhale, round the spine, pushing away with your hands and your shins. Inhale, drop and lift. And exhale, round. Take a few more, your pace with your breath. No rush here. Really just trying to feel good in the spine. Maybe take one more round. Rejoin me in that neutral spine, in that tabletop position. Tuck the toes, send the hips up and back for our downward dog. Take a few breaths here. Maybe pedal the legs out a little bit before we really get into our flow. Spread those fingertips nice and wide on your mat and just let it feel good. And on your next exhale, start to take some baby steps up towards the top of your mat. We're not going to rise up quite yet. We're just going to hang heavy here in our forward fold. And again, keeping that gentle bend in the knees is totally fine. You can also use your blocks here just to bring the ground a little bit closer if that's what you need today. Really focus on releasing the head and the neck and get rid of all of that tension. Maybe grab opposite elbows, give yourself a little sway from side to side in ragdoll. Start to tip your weight more into your toes. You'll really feel those hamstrings turn on. It's always what I need, a good hamstring stretch. All right, when you're ready, bring your hands down to the mat. Step your left foot back. Let's find a nice low lunge. Option to use your blocks here as well. Totally up to you. Double check that your knee is still stacked right over that ankle, just as we had in our tabletop position. And send the heart forward. Lift your gaze just a little bit. Drop your left hand down. Reach the right arm up towards the ceiling and lift your gaze. Nice little spinal twist here. Sorry for giving you my back. Feel that nice stretch along the legs, feeling strength within the legs. Nice and slow, bring that right hand back down to the mat. Start to just shift the weight into your feet. And once you have your footing, start to slowly rise up to a high lunge. Little wobbles are okay. Just really feel that strong base underneath you. Splitting the weight equally between your right foot and your left foot. And stay here for a breath. And on your next exhale, we're going to open up to the right side for a revolved lunge twist. Again, I apologize for my back. Really reaching your hands towards the sides of the room or the front and the back, depending on how you're oriented. And squeeze the core, squeeze the glutes, really feel those stability muscles working. Inhale, back up to our high lunge just as a transition. Open up that left foot, drop the right arm down for extended side angle. You can rest your right elbow on your right inner thigh here, and just feeling that long line of energy from your left toes all the way up to your left fingertips. And breathe. Maybe lift your gaze up towards the ceiling. Start to come down, cartwheel both hands down to the mat. Send your right foot back for plank. We'll take our vinyasa here. So let's lower all the way down to our bellies. Untuck the toes. Inhale, start to lift for a baby cobra here, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And exhale, release, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, downward dog. And breathe here. Stay here for a couple breaths. I'm going to switch sides just to make it a little easier to see me. And we'll repeat on the opposite side. So take a step with your left foot towards the top of your mat. We're in that low lunge now, just with the left foot forward. And inhale, sending the heart forward, feeling that nice strong base underneath the legs. Drop the right hand down, lift the left arm up this time for that low lunge twist. Always an option to drop the back knee down as well. Totally your choice. Still feeling that good spinal twist. Bring that hand down to the mat. Get your balance, get your footing. And when you're ready, rise up for that high lunge, feeling that strong base underneath you. Big inhale here. And exhale, open up for that revolved twist. Again, feeling the strength in the legs. Maybe squeeze your inner thighs together. Can also help with some stability work. Float that left arm back up to the high lunge. Open up to the right side this time. Right toes pointing to the right side. Extended side angle. Left arm reaching, or left arm resting, I should say, on the left inner thigh. Right arm reaches up overhead. Feel that nice side body stretch. Maybe lift your gaze. And cartwheel the hands down, frame the left foot, send the left foot back for plank. And this time take your vinyasas, just as we did before, maybe lowering down for cobra, or maybe a chaturanga this time, not lowering all the way down, and inhaling up for upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And again, stay here and breathe. Maybe you're starting to feel the heat a little bit. We'll go through that flow one more time, adding on a little bit. So if you have your blocks handy and you want to use those for our half moon, just leave them at the top of your mat. All right, we'll flow through it a little bit faster this time. So when you're ready, step forward with that right foot again into our low lunge. Inhale, twist in the low lunge. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Stay here for a breath. And exhale that hand back down. When you're ready, shift your weight into both feet. Rise up to that high lunge. Big inhale here. And exhale, revolved lunge twist. Stay here for a breath. Bring that right arm back up, high lunge, and exhale into our extended side angle. Stay here for a breath. And now we're just going to kind of hop in with that back foot. Have that block on the highest level. And when you're ready, keeping the right toes pointing forward, start to lift that left foot up and back. Maybe bring your left hand to your hip. Find a spot on the floor to focus your gaze. And turn those left toes open and out into our half moon. Option to keep your hand on your hip. Maybe lift it up towards the sky. Hold it for a breath. And if you fall out of it, that's okay. You feel the shakes and the wobbles. Nice and slow, controlled, we bring the left toes back down, hands frame the right foot, step back to that plank, your vinyasa. So I'm gonna take a chaturanga to upward dog, feel that good back bend, and exhale to our downward dog. Stay here for a full breath, one more time. Bring the left toes forward for that lunge. Inhale here. And on the exhale, we twist open to the left. Nice big breath in. Bring that hand back down. Sweep the arms up and back. High lunge. Opening up towards the left side for our revolved lunge twist. Feeling that strong base underneath us. Cartwheeling the hands up to start. Open to the right side. Extended side angle. And stay here and breathe. And if you use that block the last time, get it ready again. Hop the right foot back in. Bring that right hand to the hip. And nice and slowly, we start to lift the right foot up and back, pointing the toes outward. You may find you have better balance on one side than the other. Totally normal. Engage the core, engage the glutes, and maybe bring that right hand up to the sky. Stay here for a breath. Nice and slow, controlled. Bring a little bend to that stabilizing leg. Hands come down to plank. Step the feet back. One last time, chaturanga into your back bend. And exhale, downward dog. And let's drop the knees to the outer edges of the mat. Send the hips back for child's pose. And just remember to breathe. Try to come back to our breath. And start to focus on slowing the heart rate. Lift your head and start to walk your hands to the right side of your mat. Reaching forward with your left hand and pulling back with your right. Feel that nice stretch of the side body. And lift your head up again, coming back through center. Kind of crawling our hands over to the left side. Same idea, reaching forward with the right, pulling back with the left. And breathe. Coming back to center one final time. Tuck the toes, send the hips up and back. Show me that downward dog. Walk your feet up to the top to meet your hands, cross your feet, and just have a nice, easy seat. Cross the legs how you had them at the beginning of our practice. Shrug the shoulders down. Let's bring the soles of the feet together for a bound angle. Maybe using your elbows to put a little pressure on your knees, opening up the hips just a bit more. Did some work on those hips today. I hope you enjoyed the half moon pose. That's one of my favorite balancing postures. Challenging, but also fun. And when you're ready, bring your knees back together. Let's lie down on our backs just for a few closing moments here. Maybe bring your feet to the edges of the mat. Let your knees knock together. One hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And breathe. Be grateful to yourself for cutting out this time in your day to practice with me. And if you want to stay here in this restorative posture for another few minutes, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I encourage you to do so and just really soak up all the yumminess of the practice that we just did. But if you're like me and you got a few more things that you got to get done today, then I'm just so grateful that you were here and practicing with me. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day. I hope you enjoyed our practice today. And if you did, or even if you didn't, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get new videos out to you every week. You'd be the first to see them. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.